Hey Gengar Gang, what is going on? My name is Ryan, this is the Analytic Gengar, and welcome to another one of our videos. In today's video, a collection update. So, a couple of weeks ago, long story short, I did a lot of spending on eBay. Because of that, I got a $473 eBay coupon that I could use knowing under their program of eBay Bucks. A couple weeks ago, I did a video. I'm going to try to put a card on screen right now. If you don't see a card, go down in the description, the link will be in the video, but basically I tell you how eBay Bucks works, how you could try to earn a lot of money on eBay as well. And then I said to myself, well, if I earn this money, I might as well spend this money, and I did that. And now I'm going to do a collection update where I basically show you everything I got, and yeah, that's, collection update. What's cool about this one is that obviously everything was free because we used the eBay Bucks coupon, so that was pretty cool. And the other thing is that some of the stuff that you see today will either be graded or will be opened up on the channel in later videos. So for what it's worth, tons of interesting stuff going on here. So without further ado, I will go ahead and get started. The first thing I did obviously is because I had the ability to kind of buy without kind of any sense of like, oh my god, it's my actual money, because it was a coupon, I did buy tons of ungraded cards. So we'll kind of briefly page through each of them, just kind of going over them. So what I did was, and here's the really awful part about this, is that unfortunately eBay sellers sometimes kind of suck. So because of that, obviously there is their own kind of catch with this stuff. But so what I do when I get a eBay card is I actually clean the card, and then I go ahead and I sleeve it in a brand new sleeve. I tab it with a brand new tab, and then I put it in a brand new card saver, and that is to ensure that no gross weird stuff ends up in my collection. So I did that for each and every single one of the cards in the stack. I will try to put prices up here, up there, right there, so hopefully that'll kind of keep like a running tally for us of what's been going on. So the first one is this Metagross EX. Just kind of wanted to pick up a couple Metagross cards. I love Metagross. I did get a Typhlosion EX as well. Fair warning, most of these cards are in oh geez, these cards are in good condition. The Metagross was actually in pretty good shape on the back, but the other thing is that sometimes these cards aren't very well kept on the front, so that can also suck. Here's an example of a pretty good card actually. This is a Palkia from Call of Legends, I believe. So what's cool about this card is that they're all the shiny variant Pokemon, and one of my goals for the year was to actually get these cards and have them graded and kind of have a master set by the end of the year. So I was able to utilize some of those eBay bucks in order to get this card popped up. Same thing with an Entei, so I was able to get the Entei. There are two versions of Entei, by the way. There is the Entei promo card, and there is the actual secret rare card. This is that card. So this is the secret rare, not the promo card. I do have the promo card, and it's a promo because it has a Black Star promo instead of the set symbol down there. Same thing with this Suicune. This is the Suicune from the set, not the promo, but was able to scoop it, pick it up. Pretty good card, I think. I got this Tyranitar EX. I love Tyranitar, so I was super happy when I was able to pick this up. Again, really good. The back of the card is actually in pretty decent shape. There's a wicked little nick in this corner. I think that might take or detract from it. Big surprise. I picked up this Moltres EX. So this is the secret rare card. There are three in leaf green, fire red, leaf green. We did pull this card on the channel in our celebrating our 1,000 follower video. This card is in far worse condition than that one. I will get it graded once there's a special up. Right now, obviously that's the plan for all of these cards, is to have them graded, but in the meantime, I was just kind of picking it up, taking a risk. Again, I felt a little bit more open to taking risks this time around because of the fact that it was kind of just money that I had to spend anyway. This Groudon EX is super dope. Never had one of these, always wanted one of these. Wouldn't you know it, eBay Bucks let me get one now. A little nick in this corner, but other than that, I think this card might actually grade pretty highly. Got a Chansey EX from way back in Ruby and Sapphire. couple of things about this card. If you're, there you go, right there, you can see there is a swirl on this card, and I don't know, it might be because I got unlucky. I think this was going to be another swirl down here. So this card is right about right to have been a double swirl card. It can happen on energy cards because there is no white space for the moves. It's usually just the energy, but collectors really like when there is a swirl on a card, and then when there's a double swirl, it's even cooler. And the only way you can usually get a double swirl is if it's on the edges, because if there's one in the middle, chances are the other swirl would have been somewhere about here, so it would have been on the card next to this one. But when it's on the edge like this, you can sometimes get lucky, and I think this card is double swirl worthy. I also see this right here now that I'm looking at it. That could have also been another swirl. So spent a little bit more time on that card. Super cool, old school card, which is pretty dope. This is a Ampharos EX, and as you can see, another swirl right over there. Love this card because there's a lot of holographic space. So getting this card in a PSA 10 is probably insanely difficult just because of the amount of real estate this card has. Also, EX cards in general are really difficult because not only do you have the holographic pattern here, but you have the holographic all around the edges. And especially with the E-Series card, there's this band as opposed to old, like newer versions of cards, which are a little bit thinner for the later EX versions. But these cards are insanely hard to grade to begin with, I bet. And then this card actually has a pretty nice swirl, pretty full swirl right there. So that's also very nice. The back of this card is decent, actually. So I think the real challenge is going to be how good was this card kept in terms of scratches on the surface. We might get lucky, who knows. Again, part of the idea behind this was, yeah, just, you know, throw money, because I don't honestly think it's going to make a big deal, if anything. This Latias EX, again, I had to spend the money. It's not that I have money to just like chuck, but I was like, hey, this is a cool card, and I'm really okay with taking a risk. I, you know, never had these cards growing up. I always wanted them, so I think it was really cool that I was able to get them. This is a super pretty card. And the back of this card, not bad, actually. There's a pretty rough nick right there, but I think I'll live. This is EX Dragon. It's actually been covered in the video before, so this is actually one of the more expensive cards in the set. Go check out that video in our Card Vault series where we go over the top 10 most expensive cards in each set. I think we're up to Dragon right now, actually, so it's pretty cool because this card was pretty prominently featured. A couple fun facts about this card. It was the first time that Pokemon were being given a weakness of colorless, and that was because there was no dragon typing yet. So that's why, and there's a little bit of history to cards like that, because in the EX Dragon set, it was the first time that was happening. Next up, we have a Shiftry EX. I like Shiftry because it's a grass ninja samurai thing, and it has like sick hair. So there was no real reason for me to purchase this card other than I think it's cool. Call me foolish, I don't know. Maybe you should give me a $473 coupon to buy. I don't know. There was a swirl right here. It got covered. And this is what I was talking about earlier. As you can see, ignore the ring light, glare, and ignore both glare lights. But there is that seemingly small band. These cards are notorious to grade because of the additional hollow at the bottom. Can you imagine how hard it is to grade one of the E-Series cards that has that gigantic strip? It's like literally double the size. So it just adds another factor to what can get scratched. Here is another Metagross EX that I picked up. This one is my personal favorite artwork. Also Swirl City. Wait, you can't see it. You can't see it. There it is right there. Swirl City. Gang, gang, gang. We have a Altaria EX. I believe this is Dragon's Frontiers, and what's cool about this card is A, it's Delta Species, B, it has that gigantic print line running down the middle, and what was nifty about these cards when they came out is that they feature this like muted holographic pattern, so you can see it right there. The Pokemon has like a weird reflectivity to it, but it doesn't have the typical pizzazz of a regular EX card. So these are really cool because they kind of bring us more towards the full art version of cards, I think, because it's like a muted appearance as opposed to the speckly, sparkly business. So, you know, I think these cards are interesting for what it's worth. I did also really fall in love with the Darkrai and Cresselia artwork. I love the story behind these two Pokemon from the 4th generation. I think it's so cool, and then the movie with Darkrai was also pretty dope. So I really wanted to get those two cards because there is a bottom to this card that is Cresselia. And this is the top of the card, and there's the bottom of the card as well. And I really wanted those two cards, so I did get the bottom. I just paid for the bottom out of pocket because they were like 10 bucks each. I guess Cresselia is not that popular, but Darkrai was actually about 15. You'll see the price pop up on screen, but because of that, I was like, yeah, sure, I'm definitely getting this. So added that, and then let's just really quickly go over this. It could pull it off. I think it could pull a 9 if we're lucky. Again, the goal would be get 10s. And then finally but not least, another Shiftry. As you can see, I kind of just targeted certain Pokemon that I like too, and then kind of went after them. So I did get 2 Metagrosses and 2 Shiftrys. Yes, that is a swirl in this corner right here. I don't think that counts because it got cut off and it's in an awkward spot. It would have been funny if it was like going through his nose. That's typically what a collector looks for in this kind of stuff, but for what it's worth, still counts for me. I don't really care. So yeah, those are all of the single or loose cards that I picked up. Again, part of the reason is to get them graded, obviously, but also just because it's a coupon and it's not coming directly out of my pocket since I already earned this money. So I guess in my head, I was like, you know what, I'm more likely to take the risk now and purchase single cards on eBay, even if they might not be in the best of shape, because it'll be fun to see what they come back as. And in the event that I get a PSA 10, it would be really cool. So there's that. The next thing I picked up was this lone pack of EX Hidden Legends EX cards. So not really much to say about this because it was on sale, or rather it was at auction, and I was like, you know what, this is a minty pack too, by the way. Like, normally you can tell if a pack has been like messed with or altered in any way, or even just like handled roughly, because this partition right here would be come off when they fold it over. They fold it over and then they stamp it, so the flap actually ends up sticking to the top and the bottom. So you can tell if a pack has been treated roughly in its life if these are perforated. They're not, however. So this is actually a pretty minty pack for what it's worth, minus the gigantic crease across the top. One thing I've noticed, eBay sellers, especially with this set of purchases that I made, eBay sellers are awful to their product. I think this came in a single white envelope just like this. No padding, no protection. So I was kind of upset about that. No big deal. I left the guy some feedback. Said, hey, do better, baby boy. But, you know, whatever works. Ironically, this also happened to be on sale at the time. So this is the Hidden Legends blister pack. The only good news with this versus the loose pack was that I know for a fact this hasn't been weighed in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of more difficult to weigh when you have to take into account all the cardboard and stuff like that. The blister is actually in awful condition. As you can see, the Reggie's head is just like in pieces. There's also this huge crease here. This is a rough blister pack. In my opinion, these are the types of packs that you want to open up. Unfortunately, they still do command a, they still command some sort of premium on the market. My argument would be something like this would be like, yeah, no, definitely not anything good or worthwhile in here, just because it's so banged up. Like if I'm going to get a blister, it might as well be a blister that is in mint condition. But believe it or not, this was still worth more, I guess, because it's in the packaging and therefore makes it less likely to have been weighed or manipulated in some way. But I did pick these two guys up. The totals are on screen right now, and super cool. I like them. They're pretty dope, not gonna lie. The next thing I purchased, and I don't even know if it's gonna fit on screen, okay, is, there you go, the Hidden Fates Premium Power Collections box. So the Premium Power Collections box is unique because it contains a cool poster featuring the shiny Pokemon, which is pretty dope. I think, because I love that, I might throw it up in the background for a little bit. So let me know if you think that's a good idea. The other thing I did is obviously there are 7 Hidden Fates packs in there, so that's pretty good. There's this gigantic Rayquaza card, which is pretty cool, and then you do have the 3 promo cards that they gave out with the Rayquaza statue set as well. So ironically, this is basically that, but half. You don't get the playmat, but you still get the poster, and you still get all the promo cards, which is pretty cool. This was only $50, so this was half the price. I do have a set of those. I haven't chosen to open them yet. And I even found one where the Rayquaza statue wasn't damaged, so you bet I'm never opening those probably. But I am excited because we are going to open this, and we will get a chance to get those 3 promo cards, which are really cool. Rumor has it they've done a super good job. So this will definitely be an opening. We'll probably just crack this open and see what we see. And then finally, but certainly not least, the last thing we got is a Poke Collects special premium box. So this is the premium box that comes. This is a really cool product. So let me go ahead and explain what this is. This is the mystery box, right? And the mystery box is something where this guy named Poke Collect on eBay sells these. They are $60 US. And what's really nifty about them is that they've actually been featured on Unlisted Leaf before. So if you've seen his stuff, you know, he does YouTube every once in a while, I guess. By the way, Unlisted Leaf, if you happen to be watching this, hi. Just wanted to say, big fan. Anywho, he opened them up on his channel. He actually sends them stuff pretty frequently. So I said to myself, I really want to try one of these out. You get 5 repacked packs in there. So I'm not even going to try to explain it now. I'm actually just going to put the little thing that comes with it over here. And then we are going to go ahead and tear into that the week after next. When we finish with the Hidden Fates box. So the plan is those 2 sets of cards you're going to see over the next 2 weeks, and then after that we'll probably go back to card vault videos, etc., etc. So yeah, friends, that is how I spent $473 without really spending that much money. These are the stuff that we've added to the collection. I think really the 2 most important things are probably going to be these 2 EX series packs at minimum, because I don't plan on opening them. I also think if one of these EX cards that I bought loose comes back as a PSA 10, that would be pretty cool to add to the collection. So yeah, friends, thanks again for joining today's video. If you like what you saw, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to all our followers and subscribers. Don't forget to follow us over on Instagram, and if you're coming from Instagram, don't forget to also throw us a subscribe. If you'd like to receive notifications, hit the bell. Thank you again for joining today's video, friends. Again, next week, more card openings because, you know, it's your boy. But yeah, thanks again for joining, friends. We look forward to talking to you real soon. Have a great week. Peace.